Lakers and Mavericks take the court from T-Mobile Arena on the Strip in 1 hour. We'll get you set on Access Sportsnet Lakers. As we say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. I'm Allie Clifton alongside Mike Bresnahan and the man in the middle. Three-time champ, most recent championship won with the Los Angeles Lakers in the 2020 bubble. You've called a game. You're going to call another one next to Billy Mack on Friday. Your podcast, what don't you do, Danny Green?
I don't do what Richard does. Richard does everything.
We do not talk about Richard on this
hour. Talk to him before the show. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot. Billy's great.
Yeah,
watching the games from that standpoint has been a lot of fun. So again, tonight is another learning lesson from you. Like, I get to learn from you guys, but to watch the games and talk about the games, which try to give these people some insight on my opinion, which some people think is valuable.
I was going to say, you're so humble.
And Allie, we can't forget about the 4th ring that he won. He won one in college, North Carolina. I know you are very excited when James Worthy is in this seat talking to Danny.
Great Carolina. I'm mad. I'm upset that he's not here. I'm a little disappointed that he's not here.
I am too. Yeah. I mean, I'd be off to
When we mentioned that you were going to be on air, you should have seen his face. He is so excited to have you. Yes.
James is a good dude.
So
glad to good to be here.
How about this?
There it is.
How about this? We got to give you some love right off the top.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I didn't do it as good as James did, but I had a decent little career there at Carolina. Did all 4 years. I got a chance to win one. I was like the 5th option. I didn't start till my senior year.
Okay.
But yeah, we had Tyler Hansbrough, face of college basketball. It was inside out. We fed that man. And then Ty Lawson was very good. Wayne Ellington. I had Deion Thompson. We were big man oriented, inside out. That was, the game was different back then. Now it's
a little different.
And there's NIL too, which makes it a lot different, so.
Don't you wish you were playing now?
Yeah. Just born, a little 10, 15 years a little later.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll make up for it with all of the jobs that you do now.
Right.
Nonetheless, we're excited to have you. Luka Doncic made his preseason debut Tuesday night after sitting out the start of the preseason, and he did not disappoint in his 22 minutes of action. You see the numbers, 25, 7, and 4. Not a bad night from the field, 7 of 15, as well as 4 of 8 from deep. He will be out tonight. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be surprised, again, as we talk about a back-to-back in the preseason, but Luka will be out. I do want to start with you, Danny, from the perspective of, I think many people here in the preseason thought, how many games does he need to play? How many is too much? How many? I think he's safe to say he's going to be fine. What do you think?
I think he's going to be fine. And Pop used to do a thing because we had so many foreigners on our team that played all summer long. Luka does it every summer. I don't know how these guys do that. He looks in great shape, so they need time to rest. So for him, he just needs 2 games to get in a rhythm, get his footing under him. I think he'll be fine. And last night, he said more than enough to show that he's in game shape and game rhythm. So I don't know how many have left. I could be wrong. I think there's one, maybe one more.
One more. Yep.
So Friday, if I'm JJ, again, I'm not the coach, but if he has rhythm this one, play him a little bit more minutes in that game to give him a little bit more under himself. But I think he's fine. So he's in great shape. He looks very, very good. Skinny, slim. So all he needs is more minutes with DeAndre Ayton. That's the guy that I'm more looking at to see what his habits he built and how they work together. And obviously with Austin being out, that's also be tough for them to get rhythm. LeBron James is going to be out, so we're going to see who else needs to step up.
Going into last night's game, which left 3 games on the preseason, there was an expectation that he played 2 of the final 3, so you do expect to see him on Friday.
Yeah, and Danny, I want to ask you something. You played in the NBA for like 35 years or whatever it was. You won all your 19 rings and everything. Can you remember a player who came back with such a different look? I mean, when we saw Luka 6 months ago in his last game of the season, and he was the first one to admit he's been doing it more lately. He wasn't quite the same physically. He missed all the time, which started with that injury when he was at Dallas. Couldn't start right away with the Lakers, had to wait. Confused, maybe dazed by the trade a little bit. When you look at him now, 6 months later, I mean, how often have you seen that turnaround by a player?
You don't. And, when you brought that up to me, the only person that came to mind when I was playing in San Antonio was Patty Mills. But this is before, everybody has these jokes now on internet and memes like, oh, it must be Ozempic, right? Because him and Zion are so skinny. So before the Ozempic, you had to really do it yourself. I don't know. I'm not saying any of these guys are on that.
Right.
But he's in unbelievable shape to where people are questioning how he got in shape so fast and so skinny, like Zion.
Sure.
But Patty Mills said he had one summer, he was the last guy on the bench. He was waving the towels, and then one summer he came back. He looked different also, not because he just got skinny, but he also shaved his head and shaved his face. So he looked really, really young and really, really skinny. And we're like, Pat, are you okay? Like, is everything good? Are you healthy? Because you can say he looks kind of sick, but he was in great shape. And he went from being the last man on the bench to being an intricate piece to us winning a championship a couple years later.
How about that?
Yeah, unbelievable.
That's
and he
impressive.
rebranded himself, played in the league 15, 16 years. A guy who was the second-round pick. I said he was unbelievable. He rebranded himself from that, got in great shape, and worked his way up to outdo some of the first-rounders.
Impressive.
Rebranding, I need some of those tools and tricks. So game 5 of 6 is coming up tonight. When you think about just what's left here in the preseason, starters from last night will be sitting tonight. Guys that sat last night will be playing. Despite all of that movement, what would you like to see? What can you still get out of games in the preseason?
Just the habits, and I think JJ is looking at it as well. Again, DeAndre Ayton, the most important piece to me is seeing how he approaches the game. Obviously, you want to see what Rui can do, but Vando, him being healthy, you're going to need that defense from those guys with LeBron James being out. But you need an inside presence, right? That's their weakness that they've been talking about the last couple of years. They couldn't get Mark Williams last year. Jackson Hayes, they just didn't trust enough in the playoffs. So DeAndre Ayton, he's been active. I love what he's been doing. He's been talking on defense, running the floor, creating offense, knocking down the mid-range, and actually showing that he cares. So he knows this is a big season for him, but not just for him individually, but for their group. And he could be, a big part of this franchise getting back to the Western Conference Finals if he's playing the way we've seen him play in Phoenix.
Yeah, obviously a huge piece of the new Lakers is DeAndre Ayton. I'm going to talk about a couple familiar Lakers. Rui, this is going to be his perhaps his final year here. Definitely his final year here contractually. We got Jared Vanderbilt, who didn't play a lot last season. Not nearly enough for his taste in what was the first year of a 4-year contract extension for him. He looks great. So I'm excited to see those two guys back on the court tonight. We'll see what energy they can bring in Vegas.
You guys have both brought the energy here to start the show. I like that. For more, let's check in with Mike Trudell. He's joining us from Las Vegas. He is not at the Bellagio with a drink in hand, unfortunately, but he is courtside. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, that's true, Allie, but I am happy to be here in the arena. None of that, at least not right now. Figuring out with J.J. Redick, where does this team need to get to before the regular season starts, which is, of course, on Tuesday. Just wondered what he had seen on film from the last couple of games and what he and his coaching staff reviewed, and what were a couple of points of emphasis that they could isolate. So here's J.J. on that and more.
Offensively, we've been really encouraging our guys, particularly our bigs, to, if they're ahead of the basketball, just to rim run, and just, we don't always have to be in 5 out. Like, we want to encourage putting pressure on the rim with our running, and we thought we did that pretty well. And it wasn't just our bigs. There was a play with a throw ahead. Jake had a mismatch, got him the ball. Luka relocated, we got a 3. So just the power of the throw ahead, the power of putting pressure on the rim early with our running. And then a number of really good execution plays in the half court. Defensively, some positive signs in terms of being able to put together possessions, guarding multiple pick and rolls, guarding square to reds. That showed on the film. I mentioned that last night. It's all about sustainability. It's all about building that consistency on both ends of the floor. And we're not where we want to be, but the early flashes of it have been really good.
Similar, are you going with the same plan where the guys that didn't play last night play tonight, and then Friday, are you hoping to get most everybody back?
Yeah, so the guys that didn't play last night will start. DK will start as well, and then we'll have 10 guys available tonight. Bronny's got a little bit of an ankle sprain that he had in the second half last night, so he won't be available tonight. And then the group that started last night won't be available. And then Friday, yes, where the plan is to do another dress rehearsal and likely play, most of our guys. I don't know the minute total, but that's the plan.
All right, guys, so there's J.J. Redick, and as you heard him, you'll have the 4 vets that didn't play last night in Phoenix all starting alongside Dalton Knecht in this one, and then we'll get more of a real dress rehearsal on Friday as we approach that season opener. And Allie, you referenced the hotel that I was at and not with the foot-long drink or anything earlier. I think I was just doing the math. I think somewhere between 150 and 200 is the amount of days that I've spent in Las Vegas with the Lakers since 2008, between Summer League and playing here every fall. So at this point, really, we're not even